Hello, real estate world. I'm 20-year mega agent Tim Soykin, host of the Tough Talk podcast. My question for you today is, how bad do you want it? Do you want success bad enough that you can taste it? Do you? Because that's what this podcast is about, giving you the advice you need to be successful. The Weimers Insurance Group is one of the top independent insurance companies in the country, featuring hundreds of providers. They've recently saved my wife and I over $6,000 versus a rival insurance provider. So for a chance for high quality insurance for home, auto, business, or if you're a developer and need site development, make sure to reach out to the Weimers Insurance Group. You can call them at 281-344-2557 or weimersinsurance.com. That's WIEMERS insurance.com. So if you like saving money, or as an agent, if you need to save a deal, reach out now. Today, I'm so excited to bring on one of the most successful luxury agents we've seen in the western suburbs of Houston in my entire career, Christi Borden. Christi was one of the first agents to regularly have a supply of multi-million-dollar listings. Not only that, she's retired from real estate. So she's here to share those secrets with us and also maybe share the secrets of how to land those corporate accounts that get you. How many listings did you have at that time, the luxury listings, just in that one neighborhood?
Well, I guess we had, this was a new development. Right. And we had about 7. And
they were all million plus type listings.
Yes.
So she was one of the first agents that I saw do that. She also, like I said, successfully retired from real estate. She built a brand around style, around class, around grace, and around fantastic dinner parties, is always a legend. So welcome, Christi Borden. We're so excited to have you.
Thank you, Tim.
You were one of my early mentors in the business, someone that I looked up to from afar. I read every article I could find about you, by the way. I don't know if you know that.
No.
I read every
They're
article
still
I
out
could find.
there?
Yeah, they were at the time, and I bet they still are. Yeah. So instead of asking you how you got into real estate, which we ask a lot of people, you and I talked. A more fascinating question is, tell me about the path that got you to real estate.
Right, because I was never pointing that direction. Growing up, my mother, stepfather number 4, okay. He was a builder. So we were in New Orleans. He worked for a luxury builder in Metairie and Kenner. And we actually lived in the model homes. That was back when a builder would build a model home. You had to keep your room clean, get out before showings.
Oh, wow.
So as a child, I was like, I will never have anything to do with real estate because I hated it. Paid the bills, but hated it, the intrusion on my life. So I became a court reporter. They divorced, no money for college, and this was back before you could jump into these student loans. And my grandfather put me through court reporting school, which I had no idea what it was. It's the little lady that sits in court. And so I became that because I didn't have a lot of options. I actually became very good at it. I graduated in 13 months. It's a 2-year course. Okay. So I just had a natural affinity for it. And moved to Birmingham for a year. I was the youngest court reporter in the state of Alabama. And started my own firm at the tender age of 19.
Wow.
Then one of our partners was, he would have been part of, I guess, the Me Too movement eventually. So I just left that situation, went to New Orleans, freelanced there for a year. Then I got a court job, which is the pinnacle, I think, of court reporting. Okay. So I worked in Lafayette, Louisiana for a state judge for 10 years. Met my husband. We got transferred to Dubai from Lafayette.
Which is a little different than Plainview, Texas.
Just a little where I'm from, yes, just a little different. And it's funny, at the time, I didn't know where Dubai was. I know everybody knows where it is now.
Right.
But
it wasn't this big magic city with granite this and flowing gold that.
No, it was a little emirate. And so I would just tell people we're moving to Saudi because people had heard of Saudi Arabia. Right. So when we got there, I couldn't court report. They have Sharia law. They don't have court reporters. So I had to quit work for the first time since I was about 13.
That had to be knowing you, that had to be so hard on you.
Well, I had twins that were 20 months old when we moved there, but we did have live-in help, which is one of the benefits of living overseas. So I stayed home for about 2 years. That was enough. I had to go back to work. And I did a couple odd jobs there, and then I became a manager of the Chamber of Commerce manager of council
So
affairs.
that you really have to be a networker to do that.
Yeah, and I loved it because I was basically a party planner, which is,
Right up your
I just
alley.
have a natural affinity for that. So we moved back to the States in 98, and I thought I'd go back to court reporting. But my kids had asthma, which I have a little bit, so you can hear a little bit, sorry. And I knew I couldn't be in a deposition downtown and have to leave to go take care of kids in Katy, Texas.
Right.
So I sat with them, was a stay-at-home mom, which was a struggle
Yes.
for me. I did the best I could, volunteered for everything. And when they hit junior high, I decided I was either going to kill them or I needed to go to work. And I love my kids.
And since
Love
you didn't
my
want to
kids.
kill them,
You know, it's frowned on,
Yes.
especially in Katy. So I had a friend that was in real estate, and she said, well, come to class and just see if you like it. I'm like, I don't want to do this. But I went to one class, and I was absolutely hooked. I don't know why. I was craving what it offered, and I found my broker after I got my license, interviewed it with everyone, stayed with that broker for 20 years.
wow.
And after my second day in real estate, I was absolutely hooked and full-time from then on. Thought I'd be part-time? No.
So what was your first full year in real estate? As About
Did I start in 2004?
2004.
Yeah.
So I got into real estate in 2005 or 2006.
Right, same time.
And by 2 years later, by the way, I thought you had been doing it for 15 years. You were just so successful. You had so many things going on. It felt like you were 10 years ahead of me.
Oh, no.
So it's incredible that you were only a couple years ahead of me. So
And it wasn't, I guess I've always had a natural confidence that I
Yes.
can't explain. And I struggle on not, when I don't see it in others, I don't understand it.
yeah, it's hard.
So
for me.
it's very hard to describe how to have that natural confidence. But I've always said I have way too much confidence for my level of ability. But I'm okay with that because people presume
Right.
initially that you are doing
I've always
probably
hated the
bigger
term-
things than you are.
This term comes up a lot because people use it in real estate too much. Fake it till you make it, and I hate that term.
I hate that term.
I hate that term. But the term I do love is work your butt off and figure it out.
Right.
And you're going to be so far ahead of everyone else anyway. If you just work to get as much knowledge as you can.
That's it.
So when you came into this industry, you built kind of a luxury feel around you
Mm-hmm.
pretty early. How did you do that? And again, if you just got into real estate in 2004, by 2007, 2008, you had multi-million-dollar listings.
The key for me was niche. And it wasn't necessarily luxury, it was international.
Okay. That's
When-
right.
When I first started, we had an agent in our office. He's still very successful. And I was kind of looking at him because he's a geologist. And I thought, he's not your normal,
Right.
outgoing, gregarious type, but he's very successful. So I sat the very first year at a summer party and I just picked his brain. How did you get where you are? And I listened to him and I did exactly what he told me. He probably regretted that because we became key competitors in the office. But I went through at the time, I'm sure you remember Hobbs Herder.
Yes.
So this was a PR firm that was just fantastic on how to niche market.
And they were great with postcards at the
Or
time.
brochures and video and websites. Because remember, this was the
Right.
dawn of
Right.
website marketing where your broker wasn't marketing, you were
were-
self-marketing.
Yeah, all of us were self-branding.
And I spent probably $30,000 then, 20 years ago,
Right.
to launch this, which everyone thought it was crazy.
Yep.
And my husband, he had confidence that I would make it work. Took a little sweet talking to get the money.
Right.
And thankfully we had the money and it paid back tenfold
Absolutely.
because I went from new agent to the look and feel of very experienced agent,
Yes.
not necessarily with the transactions to back it up, but that
That
came
was look and
later.
feel. So one thing I want to say real quick, I'm going to look right in the camera to say this, is you and I started at similar times. Again, I thought
Yes.
you were far ahead of me, but we both came out with very different
Very different.
marketing. My marketing was
See, Tim Sell.
cartoonish and fun and over the top, and yours was very
And I
luxury.
loved it.
Right. But
It just wasn't me.
right.
Right.
Right. My point is, they both worked because we were both doing marketing, very different.
But
We were both marketing ourselves.
yes.
So
And
you have to lean into who you are, when you market. And my personality is that bigger and out there and kind of funny, and I'm going to challenge the system, and you're going to remember it. You may not love it, but you're going to remember it. And yours was so graceful. But the point is, we both marketed.
Well,
we both invested in ourselves.
Right. And this is the thing. What are there? 50,000 realtors in Houston.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Look at the number of transactions. Do the math.
Right.
You have got to differentiate yourself. And you have to know who you are. And you should niche always.
Right.
If you're a jack of all trades, you'll just get a little bit of everything. Focus on who you are, and your clients will come to you because they're the same. And go ahead.
One of your strengths, the absolute strengths, is entertaining.
Yeah.
So you have, and we're lucky she's here today, because how many people are coming to your house this weekend?
About 60.
So we were lucky to have her today.
Yeah.
But when you were in the game, and we're going to talk about you retiring from the game, because I think that's really fantastic. But when you were in the game, you were famous for these dinner parties. Because I was a competitor, I didn't come to one. But
I'm not sure you were invited.
No. Right? No. That's what I'm saying. I wasn't invited to one.
You could come Saturday if you want.
But you were famous for these dinner parties to build your business. Talk about those, and because that's who you are.
Right.
You are, again, Chamber of Commerce before, but these dinner parties for you became a key source of your business. Talk about them, because that was your superpower.
Well, I love to entertain. My skills overseas, working for the chamber, I'm very good at giving parties. I can say that because I've had 20 plus years experience. Right. So I've got 60 guests coming Saturday, day after tomorrow. I'm doing all the food, all the booze, done the decorating, because I like to control. I'm a little bit of a micromanager. I like to control it. But the thing is to build a fun environment. People know when they come to my events, they're going to have fun and not serious. The food's going to be great. I can say that. The drinks are going to be great too.
So you said you have some bartender. Did you have bartender training, or you just sort of learned drinks over the years?
Well, my grandfather owned restaurants growing up. So my mother ran his various and sundry bars. So as a kid, I was shaking cocktails for her. But it wasn't until, I guess, my 30s or maybe even 40s that I learned the difference between a good cocktail and a pedestrian cocktail.
Nice.
So during COVID, it's very interesting. I was filming videos, live videos on Facebook, YouTube. Cocktails with Christi. Nice. You can still find a couple of them. But it was just having fun with my audience.
Right.
Just sharing my knowledge that is just self-taught. I would never want to do it as a business, but I enjoy it. And people tend to enjoy it as well. During Zoom meetings, when I was on all these committees at NAR, they'd always say, Christi, make up a cocktail. So we'd always have a cocktail together. So, and I have people coming over Monday, my friends from HAR, and I'll be making, cocktails with Christi as well.
Nice.
So that little bit is just a fun thing that I do, not for money or anything. It's just part of me.
It did help lean into this brand. And also, when you're hosting a party, who's in charge? You are. When you're bartending for someone, who's in charge?
Me.
You are. So people get used to seeing you in that position of authority.
Right.
I think that's fantastic. So I had a guy who challenged me one time. He goes, what's your marketing budget? And I told him, and he put his hand on his heart, almost like had a heart attack.
Right.
And I said, what's your marketing budget? And he goes, so he was a hunter. So he like you and he did a lot of business. He goes, my marketing budget is I shoot something and I put it on a spick and I invite people over. But that's who he was. I'm not going to put anything on a spick in my backyard. The HOA would not allow it. There's that. But my point is, you have to lean into who you are. And I've seldom seen anybody do that better than you. You had that brand of, I'm going to have the best parties. I'm going to create community around myself. And maybe you didn't know this, but maybe you did. While you're doing that, you're also the person in charge. So people are used to feeling that you can handle things for them.
Yes. Yeah, I think that you've just hit something that I'm very capable in my endeavors. Now, there are things I'm not capable in, like bridge. I'm not very good at it, so I don't play. But if I try something, I'm pretty good at it, pretty confident, and I think clients felt that as well. Yeah. So they could see me handle a three-ring circus of these events.
Because you did.
But also know that I handled the three-ring circus of their transactions with the same passion.
Yeah, I think that's a wonderful thing. So the this developer account that you got later, did that come from the dinner party or because of a dinner party, or do you remember how you?
Oh gosh, I don't remember, and it's just very interesting. I built a team of agents to help with that. Timing was terrible for that one.
Oh, it was, yeah.
Because this was about 2007, and in 2008, the commercial lending market fell through. So several of those builders were banking through a Canadian bank that pulled their loans. So we saw a loss of a bunch of custom builders. They rebuilt and came back, but it was a very hard time to sell. So that was an adventure I'm glad I did, but I'm glad when it ended as well, because I couldn't focus on my individual business at the time.
I landed a couple builders in Firethorn kind of along the same time, and all of a sudden none of them could finish what they started.
That's right.
It was a terrible place to be.
And it was very hard to sell anything with a one in front of it.
It was.
In that market. And people were scared. And I understand. You look back, that was Houston's always been able to ride these financial markets very well.
Right.
I think that was probably the most difficult.
Since 1985.
Yeah.
I mean, they're never going to be as bad as 85. But
No.
besides that, 2008 was.
85, I was living in Lafayette, and they were going through the same thing, but it wasn't in real estate.
So it's really interesting. I tell people one of the biggest advantages I bring to the table, and you brought to the table, is what I've survived.
Right.
Now, new agents, you and I, so I think the thing you and I did well is when we were new agents, my second year, not my first few months, but my first year in real estate was 2006, and I've said many times in this podcast, I sold about 70 homes that year. It's because I looked like I had been doing it forever.
Right.
You look like I just assumed you had been in real estate until today. I always assumed you had been in real estate 10 years ahead of me. So that's branding. That's really branding and what you did for yourself. I think that's incredible. Did you have any early mentors? You talked about the one gentleman from your office, but who were some early members you looked up to? You were at Lou's office, right?
No, I was Better Homes and Gardens.
Okay.
It was Prudential, Gary Green.
Right.
I mean, my broker at the time when I first came in, Tracy Bogell, loved her to death.
Okay.
She was perfect fit for me. I did interview with Lou, love Lou. She was great. Interview with everyone. I just felt that Gary Green offered what I needed. And I love the owner, Mark Woodruff, his partners at the time. And still love him.
I would love to have him on at one time, too.
Oh, well, I'll talk to him. I don't know if he takes my calls now. I'm not working. But I still have my license there. I'm kind of in denial that I have to eventually pack that in. Just paid my realtor dues, and I'm like, gosh, okay, I'll still pay it.
Right.
But I think the brokers, number one, I think that agents pick brokers sometimes for from their pocketbook and not their brain.
Right.
That my broker took a healthy part of my commission, but gave so much back. And I see so many agents going with brokers that offer nothing. And yes, you pay them nothing, you get exactly what you pay for. So if I were going to give advice, I would say pick a good broker. And if you think, well, I can always leave, that's fine. But I've witnessed agents broker hop through their career. And I think it's like divorces. If you look at finances of people that have been oft divorced, it dwindles because you can't build something solid picking a new partner.
Yeah, I love that. So spend some time picking the broker that you go in with. I had a very valuable lesson kind of thrown in my face. I won't say that's a tough word, but I was meeting with another broker, and I'm at a broker that I consistently pay $21,000 to a year.
Yep.
And people
You
argue
cap
about
out.
that, right?
Yep.
And you're done, right? And there's people who come to me all the time and say, well, I only pay my broker 6, or I pay my broker 30, or whatever. And there's some brokers you pay 50% to. And so I was sitting down with the guy, and I was sitting across a table, and he explained to me that he paid his broker $600,000 last year.
Probably, yeah.
$600,000. Now, he took home $1 million.
But what did he get?
Yeah, he took home $1 million, and he explained to me everything he gets from it, and it was incredible. And he paid $600,000, but he took home. I want to be clear.
Yes.
He took home $1 million. So it really worked for him. He picked the right broker for him. It fits him.
What do you need?
Right.
And I knew, because I've always had enough education courses that I could get my broker's license.
Me too. Yeah.
I never wanted to. I never intended to be my own broker. My broker does all the things that I don't want to do.
Yes.
So I can handle my own personal marketing. I can handle getting my own clients. I can handle the transaction. All that left brain background stuff, I don't do. I am so right brain, I tip over.
So I have my broker's license just so I can, when another agent calls and explains to me their broker, I'm like, So am I. Like,
Right.
how hard it is. So I literally just got it to put that way, but I don't act as a broker at all. I'm like you. It's like, the name of my company is CTIM Sell.
Yes.
Not CTIM do paperwork.
Right.
It's not CTIM be a broker. I am best when I am selling. And I think if you pick the right broker, I picked the right broker for me that
Yes, you
supported
did.
me in selling. You picked the right broker for you that
Yep.
gave you that background. And honestly, I thought your broker probably at the time had the best kind of luxury feel around in Katie
Yeah.
at the time.
Yeah, and the thing is, I don't know, Mark, if you're listening, I've always had great respect for my broker. I know a lot of brokers in the city from my volunteer work
Right.
in the real estate world. I have respect for so many of them. There's probably only one or two that I would have ever had as a second choice. But I'm lazy, number one, in that I just was not going to rebrand.
Right.
And I was well taken care of. My office was in Katy. I had an office overlooking a lake. It was great. I loved it. I had great support. And when you are a top producer, you do have great support. You should.
Right. That's the most incredible thing. So I tell people, like, people ask why I haven't left. I get everything I need from my broker, and it doesn't hurt that I've been the number one agent there for
Right.
12 of the last 13 years, right? So things tend to go my way, and not financially. I pay them just like everyone else. But if I need a favor or something, it's amazing. Just
Right.
be there. They're your partner. They will be there for you. And if they're not there
If
for
they're
you,
not, you got the wrong one.
yeah, you got the wrong broker. If you're their
Right.
top agent and they're not there for you,
Well,
but
and-
also I do a lot for them. If they need
Right.
me to train, I'm going to do that because I'm going to need a favor at one time. So I train for them. I do things for them. So I think the
Yeah.
right broker you give to and get back from, I would say that. So I love that. Just don't broker hop. I love
just
that.
don't think through your pocketbook. It's very hard when you're struggling financially, getting into a business that you know you might not get paid for a year or two, to think that you've got to share that. But this is a partner who's investing in you as well.
Right.
If they're investing in you, they want to see you succeed. The more you make, the better they'll do.
Right.
And not just that, I brought in a lot of realtors into the office.
Yes.
I've helped them recruit. I would go to the real estate schools,
And recruit.
read a school, and recruit for them for free. I got nothing out of it.
Right.
We don't get at that firm. There's no bonus. There's
Right.
no commission sharing. I did it because I wanted really good people to surround me.
Right.
Because the stronger the boat, faster it sails.
So the same math that works for brokers, interestingly, works really well for team leaders.
Yes.
So I have agents who join our team. I think you had agents on your team, and we've helped agents get to where they're making more money than they've ever made. And some of them leave. And if the math works, and I tell them, if you're bringing me 70% of the business and I'm only bringing you 30, you're going to leave. That's
Right.
not going to work. But it works really well when I'm bringing them about 60 and they're bringing about
Right.
40 or 50-50 because I offer them closers and this and that. So I had a really interesting meeting. So I lost a lot of my agents a couple years ago, and one agent came in, and one of my best agents I've ever had, and that person said, I'm leaving. And I was able to sit down and go, okay, you can leave, but here's the math. You did $200,000 in commission, but 140 of that came from me. And it might have been 120, I don't remember. And 80 of that, let's say, came from you. Are you sure you want to leave? And that person said, I don't want to leave. So I think one real important thing as a team leader is be able to show people the value that you had. And we just talked, our brokers have both done that for us. They can
Right.
show me the value
Right.
of what I have. So if you had a secret of success, which you do, several, talk to me about what you would say is a real secret of the success you had when you were in the business for so long.
We've already addressed niche marketing, which I just can't specialize. Another one is just being there, showing up. I did volunteer
A lot.
And I served, from 2009 or 8, I started serving on committees at Houston Association of Realtors, then Texas Association of Realtors, then the National Association of Realtors. And then in 1 year, I don't remember what year it was, 2018, or I was on the board of all three at the same time.
Oh,
That's
wow.
insane, right?
Right.
And I chaired committees and belonged to committees, all because I wanted to make this industry better. And I love it. So I would say get involved. If it's not in your association, in your community. I volunteered for the Women's Home and locally in the Scouts and PTA and all these things, church. But in the realtor community, what people don't see is I made lifelong friends that I could call today, and I haven't talked to them for years. And these people sent me business.
Yes. I've had
Big
other
business.
realtors send me business like, hey, my mom's buying. I don't want to work with my mom. And, hey, I'm in the Woodlands. I don't want to drive to Katy.
Right.
I had an agent in Sugar Land that didn't want to drive to Katy. It's a 15-minute drive.
That's hilarious.
And send me business. I honestly just don't think they
But
want to
I
work
don't
with
do
brothers.
Pearland or
Yeah.
Galveston, so
Right.
I would always
Absolutely.
refer. But I would tell agents, when you've got a class to take, and by the way, education,
Right.
in this business, you should be earning or learning. That's it. Those are your two positions. When you're learning, take the class out of town.
Right.
Go to New Mexico. Why? Because you're the only Houston person they know.
Right.
And I got involved in international. I was actually,
Yeah, a lot of your business came from international.
yeah, that was
relocation.
my big start. In fact,
There was an organization you had to be part of to get a lot of reorg. What was
well,
it?
FIAPSI, I was actually
Okay.
the president, Houston president.
Okay.
I don't remember what year. They don't have a chapter anymore. But ARIA is a great organization. And then I love the international piece because nobody wanted to touch it at first. And I was an expat. I understood the moves. I know what women go through when they're moving their family to some unknown place,
Right.
or the husband has to come to town, find a house without her ever being there.
Right.
I've done it. So that was my love.
So Melanie Pippery was kind of in
Yep.
the game at the time. It was
Yep.
you and Melanie.
God, I'm trying to think who was very few. Now everybody jumped in. I think it's great. I kind of jumped out when everybody jumped in.
But so you were getting a lot of international reloads.
So much.
And the best thing about international reloads is they're buying.
They have to buy.
They're buying.
And they're going to wear you out, but you're going to see 40 homes in 2 days and you're going to write a contract.
Right.
And I love that.
Right.
Just pack some titty shoes and not titty shoes. I always wear cute shoes,
Right.
but your water and feed them and
I won't
Get
have
it
you put,
done.
I won't have her put her shoes up on the desk right now, but I
Oh.
will tell you they're epic today.
They are
Epic
epic.
shoe game today.
yeah. And Imelda Marcos has nothing on my shoe collection.
Oh wow. I have sold homes that have shoe closets before. Have you? It's
I have.
and it's fun, yeah.
Oh yeah, those closets are about the only thing that when I leave a beautiful luxury home, it's the closet that I'm dreaming about.
So definitely get down and definitely niche market.
Okay.
And educate yourself. So I think the advantage of educating yourself more than anything is you want to be the expert in the game and you don't want to be afraid of anything. While I'm not good at learning all the little details of a contract, I have people for that.
Right.
I will say when the commission changes came out, everybody else was afraid of it. And I was so on top of it. It's like, I'm not going to make less money because the commission changes. I'm going to make more. And this is
Right.
why I'm going to make more. I just learned my way around that script. We worked on it more. And while we won't talk about real estate commissions and what they are,
Yeah.
what I can say is my commission percentages have gone up since the changes in the law. And a lot of people's have gone down because I've learned my way around
Right.
that speech. So learn what's coming, be in front of it. That's part of your.
And it's the confidence. I spoke about that I'm pretty confident. I don't know if I said it
No, you.
offline, but I said sometimes my confidence is ahead of my ability. But the way you build confidence is to educate yourself, period. If you aren't market an area, you need to know this area so well. I have a great story.
Hit me. That's what we're here for.
When I was a brand new agent, another agent in our office, I'll say it's Julie. Hi, Julie. She was as new as I was, but she was so good at listening. And she was holding an open house for someone in Grand Lakes, I think. This couple walks in. It's not what they want. She's listening. Brand new agent. She decided to go to the customs at Grand Lakes
Right.
to check out. And these people walk in as she's walking out. And she said, oh, I came to get a brochure for you. And which was the truth.
Right.
But she was just so proactive. She left her open house and went straight to the builder. So they stayed in touch. Month later, 2 months later, she's out touring homes, which we used to do in the good old days.
Right.
And she saw a custom builder. I can't remember what community, somewhere north of I-10. And she walked in the house and said, oh my gosh, this is their house. Called them. I found your house, wrote a contract. I think it was $900,000. This is 2004.
Right.
That's a big house.
That's $2.5 million today.
Every agent in the office, oh, Julie's so lucky. No.
Yeah.
Julie worked it.
Luck
She
is where
was
hard work meets opportunity.
hard work, and she educated herself. And I always go back to that story to remind yourself that if you're not confident, you just don't know enough. And educate yourself.
So one thing you just said, and I don't think you passed over it, but you said it like, hey, we used to. real estate is a contact sport.
Right.
One reason I can sell for so many builders is I know the difference between a Lennar home, which is great in their own ways.
Yes.
And a Perry home, which is great in their own ways. And a Highland home, which is great in their own ways. I can tell you the difference between every builder home because I've been out to see them. So if I have an engineer come across and he's going to drive the transaction, I know which builder I'm going to take him to. If I know the female's driving the transaction, I know which one I'm going to take her to. If I know they're cost efficient, I know which builder I'm taking them to.
Absolutely.
So I think not being out to see the inventory in this world, yes, you can view everything online, but go to the model home in Ellison, for instance, and walk down the street and you can see 15 different 15 different models and 8 or 9 different builders and really understand those builders by that end. What's the difference between Horton? What's the difference? So I think people still need to be out there.
Well, do you remember? I know you remember, and it was Cinco Ranch, I guess, that first did the model home court. And we were like, oh, the builders hated it because now you were comparing apples to oranges. And when they were 3 blocks apart, a mile apart, the buyer forgets. Right. Well, I don't remember. And you just keep walking back and forth going, but the realtors loved it.
Right.
Because
and we sold
it was
more homes. Yeah.
Terrific. I thought it was so good for the consumer.
So I had this great trick that I would do. So I would have a buyer, and I wouldn't it wouldn't be my wife. I would have a real buyer in the car, a real buyer, and I would take the buyer to 5 or 6 different builders. Okay, which we did, and then afterwards I would call every builder and say, "I brought you a buyer, you owe me one." To which 5 of them would say, "Well, they didn't buy with me," and I said, "Well, that's on you. I brought you the buyer. It's your job to sell them. You owe me one." And I got more business that way. And because they would go, "You know what? You're right. You did give me an opportunity. I'm going to give you one." And I got more leads from builders that way by just taking them a buyer.
You have to be present, though. This is the thing. They have to get to know you.
Yes.
You can't do that online. Yeah. I think that we've become so digitally focused that we forget the real world, the offline world.
Real estate's a contact sport.
It is.
And that means make contact.
People,
don't hit people
too. Yeah. If all your friends are only on Facebook or, sorry, I'm aging myself,
right.
the gram or
whatever.
If that is where your friends lie, you're going to struggle in this business. You have got to get out, join committees, go to events, glad hand, meet people, follow up. I mean, I know people all over the United States because of my involvement at NAR. Right. And I love that we're still in touch.
So I love that you and I look at a party the same way as you do. When I'm at a party, I'm not there to drink. I'm there to build my business.
Oh, I'll have one drink or two.
Yeah, no, I'll have a drink, but I'm there to build my business. So I just had somebody who was criticizing someone, and I love this. So I'm a board member at the Katy Economic Development Council.
Yep.
And someone was telling me about another member there. They're like, "Hey, he's just here to build his business." Yeah. And he's built more business and they were saying that as a negative thing. And it's like, that's why I'm on every committee I'm on. I mean, I am there to help the community. I am there to give back. But ultimately, in time, I want to build my business from. And I tell people, so there's charity. I give to charities privately. I don't talk about the charities I give to. When I give to a charity publicly, that's marketing. And I am doing it to build my business. So when I granted a wish via Make-A-Wish and promoted it everywhere, that's marketing. When I do something privately, that's charity. That's the difference. And I think people really need to know that. Well,
and I think you do have to be genuine. And I will say that if you are not genuine, for some people, they won't really care. But I'm kind of an empathic person. I can detect.
I tell people who I am.
The baloney.
Right, yeah.
And I was genuine in my endeavors. I was a trustee with TREPAC for 8 years. Nobody is insane enough to do 4 terms
in TREPAC,
in TREPAC, but me. I think one other person has, and if you don't know what TREPAC is and you're a realtor, oh my gosh, shame on you. But
why don't you tell people what it is?
I'm very happy to tell you, and my buddy Karen Driscoll at HAR will be so proud. Texas Real Estate PAC, and what it is it puts the right people in place politically to make sure that the regulatory industry does not harm your business or your clients, period.
And one of the more powerful PACs in Texas, I will say.
Oh, my goodness, yeah. And
if you're not donating it to it, if you don't want to participate, at least donate to it.
And you're bringing up politics. Can I hit on politics? One that you were asking me, I'm going back. No. Don't worry.
TREPAC's not politics.
It's
it's
not.
industry.
It is industry politics, and that is the only politics
you should ever
that
talk.
I ever touch. And if you follow me on Facebook, you have never seen me make one single right or left comment, post, like, because it is bad for business. I think it's bad for society. So TREPAC, though, truly, I got to know all of our representatives from city council to the U.S. Senate.
Right.
And we had private meetings with these people. I was on the contact team for my congressman, Dan Crenshaw at the time.
Right.
And
So you know Glenn Hagar, you know everybody.
I did, yeah.
Right.
And the issue is these people, we get to know what their stance is, and they know what ours is.
Right.
And we have a lot of political pull to get this taken care of, to get real estate to where Texas is one of the best places
It is.
to buy and sell real estate. And nobody realizes that it is a self-volunteer, self-funded PAC by the realtors.
Right.
And we do all the volunteer work. I mean, we have staff at Texas Realtor, great staff.
So again, if you're not going to work to TREPAC, at least donate to it.
If you're not going to give your time, money, or treasure,
Right.
you are not really in this industry, and shame on you. Because I knew multi-million-dollar realtors, they didn't do a thing. I'm like, you're riding on the coattails of people like myself who work so hard
to make
to
this
raise
industry a
awareness, raise
profession.
money, get people to vote, the right way so that we can protect our property from onerous taxes and regulations. And so I wanted to, allergies. I wanted to touch on that bit, but realtors out there, if your mind is on politics and it's not real estate politics, it has no business
Republicans
in
buy
your
houses,
business.
Democrats buy houses, liberals buy houses, conservatives buy houses.
Look, we always say we're not red or blue, we're purple.
Right, absolutely.
Purple party.
You have to be. So it sounds like you've been more involved in hard than most people. But
yes.
Talk about a little bit about your success team in real estate. Like, who helped make you successful? Who was your success team?
I think of that Snoop Dogg. Me. You know, that little meme. I've only had one big team one time. I've had a couple buyer's agents. I'm not you. I wish I were. I didn't have great success. So I had an assistant with me for 16 years.
That's
she
part
was
of your
fabulous.
success team, yeah.
And
so you had the right assistant.
Oh my gosh.
And the right hire can make you a lot of money.
Well, she was my left brain.
Okay.
She lived and breathed Excel spreadsheets and And we're still great friends. You know, we've both retired. My broker was a great partner. My manager was a great partner. But and the industry.
And the title companies and
oh yeah.
Who was your title company at the time? Who did you love?
Well, we had Texas American in the office, but I shared the love.
Right.
I didn't have one steady. Your inspector team, I loved. There was an inspection company that I started same time they did, and they got a lot of business, although I recommended
others.
At least 3.
Right.
But in the end, my husband, honestly, who's not part of real estate, but he was my biggest cheerleader. He had to come home at night and listen to me, talk about things blowing up, and waiting up till midnight when we were still negotiating option periods. And every single vacation, I wasn't present because I was with clients no matter where my body was.
Right.
So I have to say, in the end, my husband, my broker, my assistant, and just even the teammates. I have a working partner that we were never contractually partners. She watched my work when I travel. I watch hers. And we're still great friends. I'm having lunch with her this afternoon. So you build a good, positive team around you that are successful.
I think one of the most interesting things, so we're going to talk state of the market next.
Yeah.
But I want to mention this because I think it's really key. There's a lot of markets that if I lived in, I would be the biggest agent that market had ever seen. I've sold 3,000 homes now. There's certain markets, if I was in, I would be the man, right?
Right.
In Katy, I might be top 10. I mean, there was at the peak, Joe Rothschild, Karen Crashaw, Jimmy Franklin.
I never did the volume you guys did.
Dale Ross. I mean, there were there were so many agents. Chris Hiller, Mickey C. and Company, Rick Dittemore. There were so many agents that were just hitting it out of the ballpark. And a lot of people would think that's a bad thing. Like, I'm in this market with all these. No, it makes you better.
It does.
You want competition. You want someone pushing you. I'm not afraid of someone passing me one day. I want them to. I want to chase them. We got a guy in our office, Z, who's incredible. I want him to pass me. I want this competition. It's fun when you go in a listing against a guy who when Joe had sold $1 billion before the rest of us got to 100 million, right?
Yeah.
And I went up against Joe and I won that listing. It was rare. You live with that. So I love that this market at its peak,
right,
there were so many big hitters.
Gosh, it was so much fun, wasn't it?
Don't be afraid of that.
Fun.
The Katy market was incredible at the time. We had so many people to look up to, and several of them have been guests here like you have. So there's a line I use.
I saw Terry was on here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. It's not the market, it's you. So even in that market, even in 2008, 2009, when the market fell through the floor, those of us who were hitting, we kept hitting.
We still worked.
We kept hitting.
Absolutely.
There's always someone having their best year in the worst market. So tell me about what was your opinion on the market, even when it was bad? How did you reply to the market? How did you act when the market went up and down?
The good thing is, and the broker prepared us for this, and a lot of the economic forecast, we were a listing firm. And the old adage of got to list to last is still true.
Yes.
And I had to say, honestly, I love working with buyers more because I would always say that your seller loves you 2 days, the day you list, the day you sell.
Right.
Everything else is, we've been on the market 3 days, where's the offer?
Yes.
Right? And I'm not generalizing, and I love my clients. It's just kind of a joke. But
it is.
Buyers, especially first-time home buyers,
they love you.
My husband said I was going to go broke working with first-time home buyers because I love them, because they were sponges and they listened to you and they honored your knowledge.
Right.
Because if you work for, as I did, a VP of a big old company, millions of dollars, his 50th transaction, all I can do is try to keep him out of trouble.
Right.
But you can't tell somebody no that nobody else tells no to.
Right.
So I felt my knowledge was wasted at that point, but I love my first-time home buyers. If you keep working as a listing agent and you keep trying to help the first-time home buyer, you're going to have business.
Right.
And I don't remember any of my marketing suffering.
Right.
Even 07, 08.
Right.
Because I think that a lot of people that were impacted with the predatory lending and that kind of thing, yes, that was the first-time home buyer.
Right.
But I did have a backup of my international. Those people were still moving. And then the mid-range, my comfort range at that time was probably 300 to 500.
Which now is 5 to a million.
5 to 7 to 9.
Yeah,
Yeah. Those were my people. We spoke the same language. And so those people they're not as harmed by interest rates going up because they have backup plans. It's really the first-time home buyer that's struggling, I think, so much.
I've never seen a market as crazy as in a negative way, 2007, 2008. So I tell people, if you survive that,
COVID
you're going to be
too.
fine.
Yeah.
But then we got 2013 as a gift, right? 2013 to 2021, everybody was posting, hey, I sold my listing in 3 days. To which I want to say, who didn't, right? Everybody's listing.
Yeah, and is that confidential information?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, maybe you shouldn't share. Oh, that's a good point. I never posted that, but I saw that. I sold my listing in 3 days, and like I sent a private email.
Multiple offers, blah, blah, blah. I'm like,
who didn't?
Do you have written permission to post that from your seller?
Yeah, that's a good point.
I served
I'm a TREPAC person.
I served on ethic panels for Texas realtors for, a decade. So I was always
That's a good one.
Yeah.
So, biggest mistake you've seen other agents make?
Oh, goodness. Just one?
You were on TREPAC. You probably give us 5 really fast. But what's the biggest?
Well, I mean, from an ethics standpoint, I would see the worst of the worst. And from big hitters, big players, you just shake your head and go, oh my gosh. But it's confidential, so we won't talk about it. But I think realtors not working. And I used to tell when I would do some training for agents, and I would say back when we had paper calendars, put your calendar out, grab 3 markers, yellow, red, green. Green is when you're making money. Things you're actually doing that are making you money. Yellow is things that putting you in places where you could make money. Red is everything else.
Right.
Shopping on Facebook, just all those things. Diligently track a week and look at your calendar. It will be so red, and you're not making any money. And I think people could still do that. They don't time track like attorneys do.
Right.
Attorneys know exactly where they are because they're billing.
Right.
If we treated our business like we're billing for the hour, you would get so much more done and be much more
What
effective.
a great point.
And realize how much time you're wasting chatting with kvetching
You're right.
with an agent at the office about how miserable things are instead of getting out there and go look at homes, drive your neighborhood, meet the teachers at the school. Get out and just don't waste time because it's so easy to do.
When I landed my first major builder, everybody talked about how lucky I was to land this builder that
they
gave
have
me
no idea what you
the
did to
8
get
listings, and it literally was exactly what you said. Out driving a neighborhood,
Yeah.
there were signs up that said for sale by this builder, and I just called the builder and said, "Hey, I want to be your agent." And he goes, "That's inconvenient. My wife is my agent." And I said, "Well, how's that working out for you?" And he goes, "Actually, not well." And that was my first
Yeah.
major listing. I got like 7. I remember my wife and I, we were so poor, and we drove through this neighborhood, and he had 7 incomplete houses. And I'm walking her through these incomplete houses showing like, this is the future. And she believed in me. And
Yeah.
that was incredible.
But I remember you driving through, I lived in Grand Lakes at the time. I saw your car back before you had a big team, or maybe
right.
it was some of your team, but I didn't know.
It was me.
But I had your magnetic sign on your car with the little egghead
Right.
seat himself.
And I was everywhere.
And you were everywhere. And that makes an impression. It did on me. And the nice thing was you and I have done several transactions.
Right. Always professional.
Always one of them. I don't know if you remember. We did a transaction. Look at me. I just
That didn't
go off.
appraise.
No, this one was so great. And this is one of the things that I love about you. I had a client who saw one of your listings, called me and said, it's on the golf course on Legendary Lane.
Yep, I remember the house.
And I want to buy that. I said, but your house is on a golf course in Kelly Green, and we're not on the market yet. Don't worry. Let's make it work. I called you. Your client, my client, made a contingent deal work on a home that wasn't even listed yet.
Yep.
And we did it. And we did it fairly. Everyone went in knowing what the risks were. And a lot of agents would have told their client, oh gosh, that's crazy. There's always a way to work it out legally, fairly for your clients.
And the only reason we got that deal done is, honestly,
You knew me.
I knew you. So
And I knew you.
That's another one to be out there.
Yeah.
So one thing people forget, the house is part of the transaction, the money's part of the transaction, but the other part of the transaction is the agent. And there's certain times when I knew it was you, it's like, look, and I remember telling my client, I love that house. If your client still owns that home, it's worth 3 times what they bought it for. probably.
Actually, I sold it to another client that
Okay.
bought it and sold it.
That
I don't know
home
who's
is
there now.
amazing.
Gorgeous.
But I remember it's like this agent knows how to get things done. And that's one thing that I will tell my clients, like, look, we're working
Right.
with Christi on this. We're working with Karen on this. There are people who can get this done versus if just somebody else had called me and I didn't know them. We probably don't try that deal without you.
I tried to build a good, solid relationship within the industry. And that meant that when we went to conferences, I didn't sit with my people. I know those people.
Right.
I sat with people I didn't know. And I'd like to think that I had a good reputation within the industry, and I think I left the industry with that intact. And I never had any legal issues, which are so prevalent because we're a self-policed industry, and it's such an easy, low barrier to get in.
It is.
And ethics is so important, yet there's no tests for ethics.
By the way, it's so easy to get into real estate, and it's so easy to go to jail in real estate.
Absolutely.
If you don't really follow.
That's another thing too.
I have friends who went to jail
Yeah.
in real estate. And
we kind of tease about real estate jail, like not necessarily always jail.
I'm talking, I saw people go to jail.
But if you don't have a good broker that trains you and protects you when through an error of omission, you could be financially burdened beyond your ability by an action on your part,
Absolutely.
willingly or unwillingly.
You have to have the right broker, and you and I both had the right. It's like,
Yep.
Without Annette and Fred, and my wife before, and Denise, and all the people
Yep.
I've had on my team, I don't know how much trouble I'd be in because they're looking out for me.
Probably a little trouble.
Yeah, they're so good. I'm always going to go forward, and they're always going to kind of hold me in check and make sure I do the right things. So you talked about a mistake you made. Look, I wasn't present on a lot of vacations, and I probably should have been.
Yeah.
What's the biggest mistake? I don't know if that's the biggest mistake, but what's the biggest mistake you've made? We're going to talk about, remember, one thing you've done that none of the rest of our guests have is you've retired. We're going to get to that.
Yeah.
But what's the biggest mistake you think you've made?
Probably follow-up. I was not very good at follow-up. And the way I work is when I'm working your transaction, whether it's 12, 15, 20 at one time, I'm so focused on getting us where you want us to go. Whether that's closing, get out of the whatever you want. I am so focused on that. When we get there successfully, I can relax a little bit. But I'm moving on to solving the next problem. So I did not always stay in touch like I should have. I didn't have systems that, had I done that, my business would have been so much bigger. But I don't have regrets about that, honestly. I regret losing touch with people. Although about 10 of my past clients, more than that, are realtors now.
Yeah.
Which is funny. They all told me, you didn't tell me it was so hard. I'm like, because I didn't let you see how hard it was. But
everybody has a sister who's a realtor or a son or a daughter. Everybody.
But follow-up, I think, was my biggest. After the deal, it isn't that I was moving on to the next transaction. I was relieved of the responsibility of you and your finances to go solve something else.
So we collect at closing, we collect everybody's birthdays, we collect anniversary dates, home anniversary dates.
I know.
And we put it in a system and it follows up with them for 10 years. You didn't do any of that.
I did not as well as I should have. Let's just say that.
All right, fair enough. So that's the biggest mistake.
That's a regret, and I think that realtors could build more business. Okay. I think I had as much business as I wanted to handle. And now, COVID is very interesting. When COVID hit, I allowed myself to step back a little bit.
Because you could,
And I saw that I liked it, and I never suspected that. The year leading up to the pandemic in 2019, I attended 10 real estate conferences in the U.S.
Wow.
Whether it was through board association or marketing. So I was constantly going all the time, plus servicing clients and a family.
Right.
And I sat back and I went, I know nice. I'm an extrovert, but I kind of like this little side of me I've never explored. And I have to say that it kind of ruined me a little bit. So that regret of not building that huge business is not really a regret, because now I could walk away because if people want to tempt me now, like last year, hang on, I want you to list. Okay. Now I just tell them I'm done. And you have
plenty of referring partners,
and I do, and I'm happy that I'm not tempted, because I loved every part of it, but now I have a different life.
All right, so we're not doing the tough talk yet, but let's talk about retirement and real estate.
I'm worried about the tough talk.
Yeah, so let's talk about retirement and real estate.
Yes.
So Brandon Avedikian said last time on our podcast, no one's coming to save you. There's no company matching. There's no this. There's no that. You are your retirement plan in real estate.
Yes.
If you can give a new agent some advice about, you're retired now, you don't have to work. You and your husband have hit the number. You said your husband wants to hit a bigger number now, but you and your husband have hit the number where you can retire comfortably.
Right.
Tell me what that looked like from the beginning. What were you setting aside? What were you doing to make sure you could retire from real estate? Because most people never can.
Yeah. So I've been an independent contractor most of my life. As a court reporter, I was independent other than working for the state judge, a real estate agent. My husband is a saver, and that's crucial, because anybody that knows me and knows my shoe collection, I am not a saver. So marry your opposite, ladies, if you are not a saver. So he's been very diligent about making sure we live below our means. So we drive very nice cars, but they're never new. We always buy homes underneath our approved budget. I say I live in one of the smallest houses in my neighborhood, which is a very good position to be in. So my husband's saving habits are the reason we're here. And in my business, and here's the thing about my real estate business, I paid my assistant, paid for my marketing, bought a couple pairs of shoes. Everything else went into savings. Nice. So we had SEP accounts, and we've been doing our own savings account for retirement, regardless of what little pittance you're going to get maybe from the U.S. government. We've always planned for this day. We're on our third financial advisor in 30 years. Fabulous, very happy now. So make sure you have someone watching your money. You may think you're smart, but you really do need to hire a professional. Same with real estate. But we saved.
So if you have two incomes and you can live on one and save the other, that's
Brilliant.
brilliant. So
But we saved from the first two.
or if you start younger, if you just set aside 10% of everything you make and don't touch it,
At least.
and learn to live off 90, you are going to be a multimillionaire by the time
At
you
least
retire.
10%.
And the 30s should be 20, 25%.
Yep.
But set aside something from everything you make. When I set up my accounts in real estate, I don't think I've talked about this before. So I have an operating account, but I put 10% of everything I make in my tax account, and I put 10% of everything I make in my long-term savings account. And when you do that, it's amazing. You'll look up and it's like, I have, boom, this much money here.
Yeah.
I can buy a home and pay cash. I can buy a condo and pay cash by just systematically setting aside money. And I think that's the biggest advice I could give. No one's coming to save you.
And it's
your
hard
job.
when you're new. You know, I had a husband with an income.
Right.
So maybe that first year I didn't bring in much money.
Right.
I was still working every day. I know that's not feasible for everyone.
Right.
You need to think about that when you're going in this business.
Right.
And you need to have a backup plan, and you do need to save your money. I rarely ever paid myself. I paid assistant.
Right.
Like I said, occasionally I'd reward myself with a little treat.
Right.
But that was it.
Right.
But I will give my husband, Danny, and anybody who knows us as a couple knows, he is frugal.
Right.
On things that are, if something's really important, we'll spend the money.
Right.
We travel a lot.
Yeah, you said you've been to 80 countries.
Yeah, at least.
So it's not like you're living an uncomfortable life.
No.
You're but you're still saving.
But we're living in, like I said, we have 4 vehicles. One's a company car for my husband. 3 are luxury cars, but not one of them is newer than 2015.
Okay.
But I love them. We go to Africa a lot for safari. We don't hunt the animals, not judging, but it's just we photo safari. We go to Europe. We're going to be in Europe in March. Go to Switzerland and sail up the Rhine and go to Belgium.
Right.
So we love to travel, but we don't fly first class.
But one way you got there again,
Right.
saving for 30 years.
Saving for 30 years.
Consistently saving. If you're in real estate and you're not taking a part of your commission check every month and
Yes.
setting it aside in long-term savings, in your kid's college fund, in things that are going to matter long-term.
Right.
My wife and my daughter's college was paid for 3 years into her being born because we went and just bought a house.
Right.
We bought a house, and by the time she graduated, that house was paid for, and there was her college. Her wedding was paid for before she ever got married because we saved. So
Right.
no one's coming to save you in real estate. Make sure you save. Make sure you save. All right, you mentioned African safari, and I told you about the story I'm going to tell. Can I tell it here?
Yes.
All right, so one of my favorite stories is when I was a new realtor, I walked into this gorgeous, it was like a $600,000 house. And again, this is like 2005, so $1 million house today.
3, 4 now.
So I walk in this house, and the guy had taxidermied a giraffe. And it was a full-sized, full giraffe right when you walk in. And I walk into this multi-million-dollar listing, and I go, "You shot a giraffe?" And I said it just like that. Like, why would you shoot a giraffe? Like, they don't even move. They don't run from you. And he starts explaining to me all the reasons you shoot a giraffe. But I did not get that listing. And it was, again, it would have been probably the biggest listing I ever had my first couple of years in real estate.
Oops.
So years later, I walk in the house, there's a taxidermy giraffe, and you and I talk. So I went, "That's a nice giraffe."
Nice giraffe. Nice shot.
Yeah, and I got that listing, so it's amazing.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I think we travel enough if you understand the conservancy side of safari.
Right.
One of my friends, it was at one time the president of the Houston Safari Club, and he goes on these big shoots.
Right.
And spends $20,000, $30,000, $50,000
But that's the
for
economy
these.
down there.
They rely on that.
They do.
And we go, like I said, we've been to East Africa, Kenya, and Tanzania 7 times. Been to South Africa twice, Zimbabwe. We love safari, but we look at from the conservancy side. You learn how important it is to their economy for the big hunters. I'm not against the hunting.
Right.
I will eat the ant. I mean, we've eaten impala and kudu and
Right.
warthog and
Access and everything.
yeah. So people need to understand that there is a side to that is positive
Oh, absolutely.
Maybe not for the animal. I get that.
Yeah, right.
Trust me.
Right.
But when you're on safari, you
PETA,
see.
don't call us. We're not recommending.
No,
Right,
but
right.
when you're on safari and you see a kill, which we see often,
Right.
you feel for the
Animal.
zebra, the wildebeest.
Right.
But the lion's got to eat.
Right.
And the same way with the people, the economy down there, they've got to eat.
That's their economy.
It's their economy. And I urge anyone, if you can go safari to East Africa, because it's changing. We're seeing the land shrinking in the parks. We're seeing more lights, so it's becoming more commercialized. And you're really missing something. Save up. It's expensive. This is one of the few things my husband will spend money on because he absolutely adores it.
That's awesome.
And, I like Italy as much as he likes that. So I like to go there too. But if you get a chance.
Favorite city in Italy, real quick.
Well, it's Rome.
Okay.
And it's just because the history.
Right.
I love history, and as a Catholic,
Right.
I mean, as the
mothership.
center for our faith.
Right.
But it's such an amazing place. But I love all of Italy, and we went last October. No, it was last October. Fantastic, so much fun, and we've been, I guess, about 7 or 8 times.
So if you want to get to take 80 trips to 80 different or more trips, 80 countries in your
Right.
lifetime, maybe consider saving money or
Save your money.
marry somebody who does.
But it isn't just that; it's a priority. We make travel a priority. So
That's your luxury.
So my phone, I hate to admit it, is what, 11?
Right.
Instead of the 17.
Mine is too.
My vehicle, it's nice, but it's a 2009.
Right.
It's beautiful. It's fast. We put our money. We just have priorities. If travel's not your priority, I don't wear luxury handbags because 2 Louis Vuittons would pay for my Africa trip,
Right.
and I value that more. It really just depends on what are your priorities.
What do you want?
Yeah.
But you get there via saving. That's
Yeah.
an important thing.
Yeah.
All right, so now's the tough talk segment.
Oh,
So
gosh.
The tough talk. So
Now I'm nervous.
and you can think of your TREPAC days too. So
Okay.
the toughest advice that you would give any realtor in the business, a couple drinks in, we talked yours is martinis, you're
Yes.
a bartender. So
Dirty martinis.
2 dirty martinis
Okay.
in. What's the tough advice you would give a realtor?
Are we talking new realtor experience? New realtor.
Just tough advice.
It's hard. This is a hard business. I've always said that real estate is the easiest, lowest paying business or the hardest,
Right.
high paying business.
You get to pick.
choose.
Yeah.
You choose. And it really doesn't matter your economic background, your education level. You put in the hours, you put in the time, get a good broker, educate yourself to the ninth, be ethical. My gosh. If it's ever a great question, back away.
Right.
You are not in the right position to make that decision if you're considering the gray, black or white. So, but it's hard work. And if you're not willing to put the hard work in, go work somewhere else because you're going to make more money
Right.
doing something else.
And some people just aren't built for this.
No.
Unfortunately, there's a guy that I've worked with for a long time, and he's never made more than $50,000 or $60,000 a year doing this.
Oh my gosh.
I've had months where I've done that, right?
Yeah.
You know.
Well, maybe I never did your level, but still.
Yeah, but I've had months where I've done that. So I think the tough advice I would give people going down the TREPAC thing is, when I see people go to jail, and I have,
Yikes.
it's generally for mortgage fraud. So do not, if there's something that you question, don't be involved in it.
Absolutely walk.
Run as fast as
away.
you can. There's, I got a sniff of a deal a while ago, and they're like, well, the lender doesn't have a website and this and that. And yes, you can only call in Thursdays between 9:30 and 9:45. And I mean, it was like, just run away as fast as you can.
Yeah.
This is mortgage fraud.
I remember in 2007, 2008, when these guys from up north were selling zip codes
Right.
for foreclosures.
Yeah.
And they were trying to entice me to handle all of this. It wasn't legitimate. I looked, I did some research, and I told them, you don't know our market. Houston's not really that market,
Right.
but they ended up, it was a big scam.
Right.
And I was so glad that I walked away. But my sniff test, I'm pretty good at it.
There are so many people that are willing to spend your money in real estate. So again, more advice. You will get more calls for people to spend your money than you will for people to buy.
And
or
I
sell
have
with you.
wasted a lot of money.
I have to. Oh no, I have to. So I would say be careful of those calls. Set your budget in advance. this is what I'm spending money on this year. And if you get a call for anyone else, anything else, say, call me next year and I'll think about it. I set my budget in November. Call me in November and let's talk then. And they're not going to call you back, right?
But ask somebody what they're doing that is successful.
Right.
Ask them why what they're doing is successful. It may not work for you.
And I always ask them, like, okay, if you want me to use your service, give me 3 people that are using it right now that I can call. And if they say, I'll get it to you in a day.
And if back in the day, do you remember when everybody wanted to sell the number one search on Google or Yahoo?
Right.
Everybody can't be number one. So it's a scam. You might be one at 3 o'clock in the morning. There is, I know when you go to these trade shows, oh my gosh, put your blinders on. You don't need the little crap that they're passing out to give your card.
I love the caramel apple samples though.
That one, okay.
Yeah, I'm stopping there. But I'm not buying
But new
$50
agents,
caramel apples.
people are there to separate you from your money.
Yes.
And the difference with real estate is it has a veneer of legitimacy that in the other world, it'd be a scam.
Right.
So
be careful.
Just be careful. Your money is precious when you're new. And it most likely, hard work's going to propel your business.
It is. So don't spend money you don't have. Hard work's going to propel your business.
Save your money you do have.
Now, this is usually where we let our guests kind of shout out something they love or want, or you're not looking for business right now.
Not at all.
But why don't you talk about if there's something you love that you want to shout out, a charity, TREPAC. If you're going to give somebody a shout out, what do you give it to?
Well, I always TREPAC, even though I'm, no longer necessarily involved. It's just such a hard mission. Shout out to the Houston Association of Realtors, Texas Association of Realtors, and National for our PAC for the work they do. Nobody sees the work they do to protect you. And
you make a living because they're protecting you.
Well, and look in the 90s when Texas and the realtors fought predatory lending practices that are rampant in California. When you could get 60-year mortgages, 50-year mortgages, or you could be upside down on your equity. 110% of your equity on loan?
Right.
What is that? We put stops in place.
And they had interest-only loans and this and that. And there were all kinds of things.
Texas, if you've only experienced real estate in Texas, you have no idea
how hard it is other places.
And how protected you are because the realtors worked hard. So, doing my plug for TREPAC, give an investment or give your time. So that's one thing. Yeah.
All right. We're so honored to have you. Everybody remember Kevin Massey from Go Long Studios. If you want to talk about real estate, do a podcast, they're the absolute studio to use. Remember Weimer's Insurance? We had a little ad for them at the beginning. They're someone I trust. They're going to save you a lot of money. They recently saved my wife and I a lot of money on a deal. I highly recommend Weimer's Insurance. But again, anywhere on the west side, if you need a great studio, Kevin Massey, Go Long Studios is right here. Thank you so much. Have a great day, and we're excited about the next Tough Talk. Christi, thanks for being here today.
Thank you for having me.